Farmers Markets Ontario presents Tools to Assist Farmers Markets with Authenticity. Regulatory Requirements for Produce Sold in Ontario.
Hi, I'm Teresa Ferrer with the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, and I represent the Foods of Play and Origin program. Today we're here to talk about retail display sign requirements for farmers markets in Ontario. A retail display sign can be a really effective tool to communicate product information to a potential consumer. It can tell them what they need and want to know about a product you are offering for sale. In Ontario, if you sell produce, domestic or imported, if it can be commercially grown in Canada, you are subject to the retail display sign requirements of Ontario Regulation 119/11 of the Food Safety and Quality Act. Now that regulation states that no vendor shall sell produce unless a sign appears on or immediately over that display of produce, setting out very specific information. The first requirement for retail display sign is to ensure that you include the country or province of origin that the produce was grown or harvested. The second requirement is to include the price per unit of weight if that produce was sold by weight. And the third requirement is around peppers. The retail display sign must indicate whether those peppers are sweet or hot.
And lastly, around the print size on the retail display sign. It must be clear and accurate and in reasonable proportion to the size of that sign.
One last thing I think is important for vendors to note is that the regulation does prohibit any false or misleading information on a retail display sign. If a seller misrepresents the place of origin, that vendor could be subject to fines of up to $500.
Okay, so let's go into the market and take a look at some retail display signs.
So certified organic Remain Hearts, they're a product of USA, so each retail display sign should indicate the country or province of origin. So it should say product of Ontario, it can say grown in Ontario, or it can say province of Ontario, and then that would be in compliance with the regulations. So this retail display sign is missing the identifier, that is a sweet pepper. So to be compliant with the regulation, peppers would have to indicate that they are sweet or hot on the retail display sign. Other than that, all the requirements are there. Tomatoes, beautiful. Sign is compliant.
If a farmer's market vendor has any concerns related to retail display sign requirements, I encourage them to contact the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs at 1-877-424-1300. If a market vendor or consumer has any concerns about false or misleading information at their market, please share those concerns with the market manager. Concerns regarding non-compliance can also be registered with the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, and that number again is 1-877-424-1300.